So in our module number 3 of business law, that is related to Partnership Act 1932 and LLP Act 2008, we have discussed the contents related to Partnership Act 1932, and then we have discussed regarding the LLP. LLP means a limited liability partnership, where you are going to enjoy all the benefits of partnership form. At the same time, you are going to enjoy the privileges of a company as well, because LLP is a different kind of business form where the limit of the members or the partners is unlimited. So every person can bring the amount, and your size of business will be large. And at the same time, all the partners are going to have the limited liability up to the capital invested by them. So the liability is also limited, so more of the people are getting attracted to such kind of business. And in India, this LLP is expanding like anything. And for registration of LLP, you have to register the LLP only with the registrar of company. You have to first apply for the name. That means, you have to register the name first, and the name should not be similar one to the another LLP. If anybody else have already registered the same name or the similar name for their LLP, then you cannot apply for that. So until and unless your name is not getting approved by the registrar of company, you cannot apply for the further, you cannot follow the further procedure. Once your name is getting approved by the registrar of company, then you can submit all the relevant documents which are required for registration, and then you can get the certificate of registration. Once you are getting certificate of registration, you can add the number of members or the partners in the LLP. LLP is run by the designated partners, and the minimum designated partners should be two, and maximum, it depends upon the size of the business, right? Over here, the act is not saying the maximum number of designated partner, but it is up to the partners or up to the LLP size or the capital, and they can decide how many partners can be the designated partners. Designated partners are playing the role of running the business. They are taking care of the affairs of the business, and like directors, they are working. So this is what we have discussed under LLP, and these are the two sections which we have discussed in the last lecture. Section 63 and Section 64, which are related with the winding up and dissolution of LLP. Section 63 says that when the partners themselves wants to close the business or wind up the business, they can do that. So they have to apply for the cancellation of registration to the registrar. They have to inform to the registrar, and then they have to close the firm. That is given under Section 63. And Section 64 are giving rights to the tribunal, that means to the court, that if anything happens to the LLP, or LLP is not performing as per the provisions given by the act, or they are involving into the some unfair practice or any kind of illegal objective work if they are doing, then tribunal is having right to issue the notice to wind up the LLP. So all these are given under Section 64. All these things we have already discussed. Now today we are going to discuss the last topic of this particular chapter, that is related to the comparison between LLP and partnership, or you can say that the distinction between LLP and partnership form. So one by one we will try to understand, because all these are the legal points and the provisions. The first point of LLP says that minimum partners two and maximum partners unlimited. There is no limit on the maximum number of partners. And at the same time, over here, anybody can be the partner. For example, even a joint stock company can be the partner with LLP. A cooperative society also can be the partner of LLP. And even one LLP can be the partner of LLP. So there is no, you can say, the prohibition on any kind of membership, right? Individuals can be the partners, and even the foreigners also can be the partner of the LLP. So over here, we are having you can say, the privilege to add many people as the partner, right? So in LLP, minimum two and maximum, there is no limit LLP. Now, as far as this partnership is concerned, minimum two and maximum 20. We know that there are two kinds of businesses which are covered under that. Number one is banking business, and another one is other businesses. So for banking, the maximum limit is 10, and for others, the maximum limit is 20. Right? So Partnership Act 1932 is giving the restriction on the maximum number of partners which can be admitted as partners in the partnership firm. So you can have maximum 10 in case of banking and maximum 20 in case of other businesses. These things you have to keep it in mind because these are the things which can be the part of your MCQs. So please remember that minimum 2 in both the cases, but for maximum in LLP, there is no limit. For partnership, they have given the limit of maximum 20 for other and 10 for banking. Then the second point is LLP is a legal entity. Legal entity means it is having its own identity, it is having its own registration number, whereas this partnership form is not a legal entity. A firm is known by its partners, not by the name of the firm, right? In case of LLP, whatever name you are applying, it's going to get a separate identity, right? Separate identity means where you can have the your name, you can have the legal rights, you are having your own legal liabilities as an LLP. But in case of partnership, you are not having any kind of legal entity. So if anyone wants to file a case against LLP, they can file a case against the name of LLP, right? But in case of partnership form, if anyone wants to file a case, they cannot file a case against the firm, but they can file a case against the partners, right? So partnership is not having a legal entity, but LLP is having a legal entity. Registration is compulsory in case of LLP. Without registration with ROC, you cannot run the business under LLP. You cannot add the partners. That will be illegal one, right? So what you need to do, you have to register that LLP with the registrar of company. That is mandatory or compulsory. But in case of partnership firm, in some states, still it is optional. More or less, they have made it compulsory, but in some states, it is optional. So here we can say that registration of partnership is optional, whereas here it is compulsory for all kinds of LLPs. Then the next one is may have its own common seal. As far as the term common seal is concerned, common seal means a stamp. Stamp. For example, a company is an artificial person. So stamp is called as a signature of a company. Until and unless any paper is not having stamp of the company, that paper is not having any kind of validity. Same way, this LLP also may have its own common seal. That means the stamp, because LLP is also the artificial person, which is run and managed by the human being or the individuals. So over here also, they may have their own stamp or common seal, which will be considered as the signature of LLP. So any paper where the LLP is entering, LLP can put the stamp. Whereas in case of partnership firm, absolutely there is no concept of common seal. That means any partner, any firm, when they are when the firm is entering into any business, these are the partners who will be signing the agreement or the paper. Because they don't have the signature of the firm, because this particular firm is not having any kind of legal identity or legal entity or recognition, right? So partners will be signing the documents, so they don't have any kind of common seal or stamp. But in case of LLP, there is a need for one stamp. Then the next one is name has to be approved by the registrar and must have LLP as suffix. Suffix means, when you are applying the term, it should be having the last word, that is suffix. For example, a private limited company is having suffix like pvt.ltd. And in case of limited company, it is LTD. These are called as suffix, right? Similarly, in case of LLP, when the LLP is registered, whatever name they are applying, they have to apply the term LLP after that. For example, Saigal, Saigal LLP, ABC LLP, XYZ LLP. That LLP word should be there. That is called as a suffix. So that is mandatory in case of LLP. However, in case of partnership, there is no need for that. They can have any name of their choice. And generally, in case of partnership firm, they are applying the term MESAS. Generally, M/S, that is called as MESAS. But that is also not mandatory. If they wish to, they can apply the term, because MESAS is going to indicate that this particular business firm is a partnership firm. But act is not compelling the partners to apply any kind of suffix and all, but they can apply whatever name they want to apply for their firm. Then the next is agreement available for inspection. Inspection means if anybody wants to see that what kind of agreements have been entered by LLP, it can be made available for inspection. Under RTI, you can file it and you can see the agreements which are entered by LLP. However, in case of partnership firm, deed not available for inspection. Deed means the partnership deed which has been done between or among the partners. It cannot be shown publicly. You cannot ask any partner to show their deed. That is very confidential. They may say that this is an agreement among us. Who are you to see that? Only we are the parties to the agreement. Only we are going to get the benefits and all. Who are you to ask for that? So they will not give you to see that. So the deed of the partnership firm is not available for inspection. However, in case of LLP, the agreement is available for inspection. Why it is available for inspection to the public? Because there is no limit on the number of partners. So if I wish to become the partner of one LLP, before becoming the partner of that particular LLP, I can go through the agreement. I can go through the documents which are there, right? So once I see the documents, once I get the confidence, okay, this LLP is profitable, I'm going to get benefit from this, then I can be the member or the partner of LLP. That is the reason the agreements or the documents of LLP are available for inspection. That means to the public, it can be made available. Whereas in case of partnership firm, the deed is not available for inspection. Then the next one is can hold property in its own name. That means if any property is getting purchased, the bill can be drawn in the name of LLP. Let us say one LLP is purchasing a machine of rupees 1 crore. So when the machine is getting purchased, obviously one bill will be drawn, right? Invoice bill will be drawn. So the party who is selling the machine will ask that under whose name you want the bill. So over here, the designated partner very well can say that, see, we are having one LLP, so you draw the bill in the name of LLP. Right? So the bill will be in the name of LLP. That means the title of the document will be in the name of LLP. So LLP can hold the property in its own name. Whereas in case of partnership firm, if any asset is getting purchased, it cannot be purchased in the name of the partnership firm, but it will be in the name of the partners. Whatever property is purchased by the partners for the partnership firm, it cannot be in the name of the partnership firm, but it will be in the name of the partners. All the partners' name should be there when they are purchasing any kind of asset. Though it is the property of a firm, but still the bills or the documents or the titles will not be in the name of the partnership firm, but it will be in the name of the partners. So in case of LLP, the property can be held in its own name, whereas in case of partnership, it cannot hold the property in its own name. Then the next is foreign nationals can be the partners. This already I told you that foreigners can be the partners of LLP, whereas in case of partnership firm, you need to get permission. So directly you cannot appoint them. Over here in LLP, there is no need for taking any permission, because LLP Act in its definition itself has given the authority to the LLP to admit even foreigners to the part as the partners. So again, there is no need for the LLP to take separate permission from the government that we want to add or we want to admit the foreigners as the partners. There is no need to take any kind of permission. So it is allowed. Whereas in case of partnership firm, you are not allowed to add foreign nationals as the partner unless you are not having permission from government. You have to take permission from government. If government is allowing you, then you can add the foreigners. Otherwise, foreign nationals cannot be the partners. So without permission, they cannot be the partners. Then the last point is liability is limited. Partner is liable only to the extent of agreed contribution and not for any independent or unauthorized act of other partners. That means a partner is already giving a kind of extent that, okay, I will be responsible only for that much amount. Whatever contribution they are making, over here contribution means the capital, right? In case of LLP, whatever money is brought by the partners are known as contribution. So whatever contribution they have made, their liability will be limited only up to that. For example, I want to be the partner of an LLP where I have invested rupees 1 lakh. I have invested rupees 1 lakh. So 1 lakh will be my contribution. So my liability will be limited only up to rupees 1 lakh, not beyond that. If any partner have committed any error or any fraud or anything has gone wrong, that is not because of me, because of some other partner. I am not responsible for that. I will be paying only my contribution, not more than that. But in case of a partnership firm, let us say any partner have done any kind of error or any kind of mistake has been done or the wrong agreement have been signed, then in that case, all the partners will be responsible and their liability will be unlimited because they are jointly and severally liable for the acts of the firm and other partners, right? We have learned one term, you remember that in case of partnership firm, mutual agency. Mutual agency means what? Where all the partners are the agents and all the partners are principals of one another. They all are agents and they all are principals. That means they all are responsible to one another. If one partner is committing any kind of error or mistake or any kind of wrong decision has been taken, then other partners also have to bear the same loss. They cannot run away from the liability because their liabilities are unlimited. So this is all about the comparison or the distinction between LLP and partnership firm. I hope at least you have understood the meaning. Some questions have come in the chat box. I will come back to that. Have you understood that? Is it clear? Okay. So with this note, this particular chapter comes to an end.